everyone, and welcome to the Positively Disney phone-in show. I'm Kimberley Bouchard, your podcast host and the author of the Positively Disney books series where this came from. This is actually our 22nd show. I know it's still kind of a baby compared to all these others that are in the hundreds and 200s and 300s, but we will keep going and we'll get to 100 probably next year. But at any rate, thank you for joining me, and a special hello to Daniel from the UK, and Mike from Florida is joining us tonight, and all of you on Twitch and across North America and the globe. Welcome again to the show. If you would like to share anything with us tonight, with the Positively Disney side of things, please call in at 844-483-4763. So I don't know. I don't watch the weather very often, but I do know that it's cold in the north and it's positively raining here in Seattle. It just won't stop. And I think everybody's a little bit done with it. And I do envy you guys in the East, in the sunny part of the East, definitely today. And I wanted to actually just throw out there a couple of things about rainy days at our favorite parks. But before I go on, I want to welcome also Jenny and Chris, who have joined us as well this evening, or I should say late afternoon. Yes. By the way, as you know, yay, you got the message. It's the new time, 4 to 4:30-ish, 5 Pacific, and 7:30-ish Eastern time. And I do have a fairly large audience in the East. And I thought I'd just make it a little bit easier for everybody. At any rate, what do you guys do on a rainy day at Disney? Do you stay hunkered down in your hotel? Do you stay somewhere in the parks themselves, or do you kind of just truck on through? I know just the other day, I had a friend who's visiting Walt Disney World send photos of the time, a recent time actually, that it started to rain in, I think it was at Epcot he was showing me. And the park was pretty much empty. I couldn't believe it. And that's kind of lovely to have the park empty and almost to yourselves. But I know for our family, it has depended, on how little the kids were. But we usually just stick it out in the rain. I am notorious for bringing raincoats with us, our rain ponchos. And if I don't happen to bring them, we always buy them. And I think I have about 15 of them in our RV. So I think I'm good for a while. Jenny says she trucks on. Yay! And I'll say hello to Lori Johnson from North Dakota. Lovely. I have actually been through the Dakotas a few times. Lovely area. And a welcome to Julie also, who's joined us. I have been in Magic Kingdom when a storm has suddenly hit. And I'm not talking about just that 20-minute quick shower and it clears out. We're talking about a full-fledged thunder and lightning storm. It was so bad. We're pushed into the little gift shop right beside the Country Bear Jamboree. It was so loud. I mean, it was right over top of us and kids were crying and we were all stuffed in there. And when we finally got out of there, it was honestly, I think we slogged through about a foot of water because it had pooled so quickly. And for any of you that may or may not know this, Orlando is the lightning capital of the world. I have no idea why. I actually did ask a friend of mine who's a scientist out there. And there was a study going on to figure that out. And I'm not too sure if they figured it out or not yet. Hello to Rosa and Beth, who have just joined us. Daniel says he goes to the parks to enjoy the rain. There's less queues, fewer queues, and it's refreshing. Love the rain. But yeah, Beth, I bet you have been at many storms at Walt Disney World for sure. I know there was one year I'll never forget. It was so weird, the timing. We had our, of course, dining figured out for the 7 days in a row. And for some reason, every single time we got to our dining reservation, it just poured. And every time we finished our dining reservation, it was cleared again. So we were really lucky. I know that there's some of those rides that, well, my husband calls them nap rides, but those are great rides to take during a thunderstorm. And now we don't have Ellen's Ride of Energy, which is well, we know it's gone now, but there are, I'm sure, some other rides or things that you guys like to do in in a torrential rainfall. Beth says she's seen Main Street look like a river. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine that. That would be a little bizarre. I just, yeah, I wouldn't want to have to be there quite at that time. Hello to Carla, who's also joined us tonight. Well, we all like to go to Disney, no matter if it's raining, pouring, or a light shower. And I always tell people that are new going to the parks for the first time, it's tropical area. You're always going to experience that quick rainfall. But some of you know, and a lot of you have been on these rides that are the notorious water rides for getting wet. Cali River Rapids, Splash Mountain. And I don't know about you guys, but for some reason, I mean, there's 8 seats in Cali River Rapids, and we're a family of 5. So there's always a few others that join us. But every single time, I'm the one that gets that huge bucket-like water over top of me. And I don't mind it a lot of the times, but now I'm kind of the wuss and I wear a rain poncho. Do you guys wear rain ponchos on Cali River Rapids? I'm curious to know, because I get tired of getting wet and having to walk through the parks all the time. And there was one time I thought I'd be smart about it, and I wore a kind of a quick dry, apparently it's supposed to be a quick dry, skirt. So it has those little shorts thingies underneath. And anyways, I was on Cali River Rapids, and of course, the one that gets the most water dumped on them, that torrential pail of water dumped on you. And I figured I'd be okay because my skirt would dry off. Well, I was horrified to find out that my lovely beige quick dry skirt was actually a see-through skirt. I was mortified. I went to the very first little kiosk. I can't even remember where it was. It must have been straight ahead of me, off the path. And went and hid behind the rack of shorts, and the poor cast member, she felt so bad for me. I said, look, I have no idea if these are going to fit me. She said, just take them. So she was so kind. And she gave me the shorts just to go to the bathroom, to make sure that they would fit. And I stood there. Thank goodness they had dryers. So I stood there drying myself as best as I could and put on my shorts, my Disney shorts. So guys, if you are going to go on Cali River Rapids, make sure your shorts or your skirt isn't that quick dry, thin, beige color, because you will be in trouble if you get wet. Beth says the same thing happened to her. She got soaked on Cali River Rapids, and she always apologizes to whoever is next to me. That's funny. Yeah, because everybody who's right next to you gets wet too. I always warn people before we're strapped in that I am that person that gets wet all the time, and to feel free to move right away. I'll never forget the time we were on the ride, and we got to ride it several times in a row, which was really cool, because if you're wet once, you may as well get wet again. The only little teeny thing that annoys me on that ride are the people that are on the bridge that figure it's fun to squirt you after the fact. And it kind of drives me crazy sometimes. So I'm always watching for those guys. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, that they have that little bridge with the water guns that you can spray people that have just come off the ride. At any rate, that is something that I do miss, that ride. I have never done it actually in Disneyland, and it's called I think Grizzly Run or something like that. It's got a little bit of a different name to it. And whenever I'm in Disneyland in California, it seems like I just quite don't have enough time to get wet and do all that stuff. But yeah, I really have also enjoyed, I mentioned Splash Mountain, and I think that they kind of do something with the ride in the winter time so that it doesn't splash you quite as much. I'm not too sure what it is, if they just kind of reduce the water, the amount of water in there, or the hydraulics of some sort when you get down. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I've that person on the ride to get wet as well. Even gotten even gotten wet on Pirates of the Caribbean too, but that's all. It's all good. As long as you're not wearing anything that will be see-through by the time you get off of it, you should be good. Anyways, guys, I have just kind of been going down memory lane when I have been inundated with this weather, and it's kind of gloomy here. And what cheers me up is thinking about past visits and future visits to Walt Disney World. And I don't know if any of you guys have been here. I'm sure a lot of you have. But one of my kind of all-time favorite restaurants that I do tell people to go to for the experience, and of course the food is wholesome kind of home cooking, is the Primetime Diner at Hollywood Studios. Primetime Diner is such a hoot, and we've had so many amazing memories at that place. Anytime there are new people along with us or join up with us, we always take a peek at the Primetime Diner. And it's really fun to go into a retro diner like that and have them serve you, and they are supposedly your long lost cousin or relative or whatever, and it's just such a hoot. And I haven't been there the last couple of times I was there. I think we're gonna possibly check that out when we're going there next time. But at any rate, I don't know if any of you guys have been humiliated at dinner, but they're very playfully strict about rules, such as elbows on the table. Well, that is something that I think we all heard when we were little kids, and I'm not 110% sure why elbows aren't allowed on the table. I know it's bad manners, but it's really hard to remember not to put your elbows on the table for some reason when you are there. And I was caught one time with my elbows on the table, and I had to hold a sugar packet on my nose against the wall just for a minute. It was all in fun, but I'll tell you, you think twice about putting your elbows on the table. As I said, the food is wonderful there. Oh, Beth says, ask for Adam. He's amazing, he's sarcastic, he's great. Okay, I'll try to remember to ask for Adam, Beth, next time I'm there. Well, there was a few other occasions. I was very fortunate to have my parents be quite adventurous and come along with us on our Walt Disney World trips, which were quite far of a trip. It took us, we didn't have direct flights there at the time, and coming from Alberta, Canada, and kind of going across the whole continent was fairly big trip. But at any rate, one thing that is served there with your lovely portions of food is collard greens. And I think that is something that is maybe popular in the South, definitely not in my neck of the woods. Still don't really like it after trying it. At any rate, my mom didn't like it either. Didn't want to finish. And so when she was kind of ribbed about it, he was putting the her napkin over top of her collard greens. And the waiter took her plate away. And of course, you all get dessert on your dining plan. And he came back with her collard greens with about 4 inches of whipped cream on top for her dessert. She just about died. Of course, she didn't eat it, but it was quite fun. Beth was talking about that her son, he's 21, has a beard. And, her waiter kept referring to him as Chewy. Yeah. And, he made Chewbacca sounds to them. It was hilarious. those guys really like to interact with you, and they like to just have fun, and they also cause quite a ruckus if they want to. So beware for some interactive waiters and wait staff there when you go. Another time I knew about the whole thing about finishing stuff off your plate. They're kind of really adamant. And I know I grew up like that. My dad and mom always wanted us to finish what was on our plate. And so we were very, very careful about that. At any rate, another trip to Primetime Diner, I could not for the life of me finish my pot roast. Love the pot roast there. Actually, love the fried chicken. I don't even know what else is there that I wouldn't like. But anyways, I love all that. And I couldn't finish my pot roast. And I felt really bad because there was quite a bit left. And I didn't want to get into trouble. So I gingerly stuck it in my napkin. I think I had a Ziploc from when I had to put my liquids in at the airport. So I stuck it in my Ziploc and put it in my backpack. The guy was so impressed that I'd eaten it so fast, but he was none the wiser because he knew where my family knew where the pot roast was, something I could eat and address later. Another thing that I remember from Primetime Diner are let's just say, the blinking light drinks. You want to be careful with any adult drinks that have blinking lights because they tend to be very strong. We'll just leave it at that. And they're very delicious. And I even say that they're a wee bit dangerous because they're so smooth and they taste just like a soda, but they are loaded. It's loaded with alcohol. So you have to be really careful because usually a couple sips for me. I don't really have drinks very often, but I know that a couple of sips and I'm kind of done with it. At any rate, now that we're talking about drinks, I will share with you something about Trader Sam's. But Beth is talking about many years ago, they were given homework at their table. We had to come up with 12 Disney movies that had only one word. We were lucky the other table had calculus. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so fun. So Beth, you must have gotten all the Disney movies that were one word. I'm not sure. That's kind of a fun challenge actually to try to remember all the movies that have one word. All the Disney movies. I'll have to remember that. I laugh when I see the calculus because one of my sons is actually just finishing one of his second last calculus courses at college. And he's actually, we didn't realize it, but he needed another calculus course before going into the particular university he wants to attend in September. And so he's actually going to be taking a calculus course over the summer. And we are going to be at Disney World for a few of those days. We are actually going to be there from the 27th, roughly 27th to about July 8th, and his class starts July 2nd. And it's an online class, thank goodness. So he will be probably doing his calculus first thing in the morning so that we can go on out there, or in the afternoon on a break. I'm not too sure. We'll have to figure it out. We'll get it all done though, as long as he gets his calculus work done. And you had help from the other table, Beth. That's funny. Actually, I before I go on to the Trader Sam's thing, I'll never forget this one year. It was crazy. We were sitting, and next to us was a table of about 6 or 7 people, and their last name, because when the waiters go around or whatever, everybody kind of figures out, tells your last name, or when you're paying for your check and that. And their last name was Disney. I looked over and I was like, this is so cool. I've got, some of the family is here. But what was so bizarre is they had no idea if they were related to the Disney family. How can you not know if you are related to the family of the park that you are in somehow on the family tree? I don't know how people wouldn't know that, but it was really interesting. I thought, wow, there's some people with the name Disney that they don't, that maybe aren't quite related to the family. I'm not too sure. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Anyways, drinks. I wasn't going to talk about drinks, but I just thought I'd talk to you about one of the places that we went to. I think it was like last summer, because I'd been told about it in one of the stories that I had written. And I couldn't believe I'd never been there before. But Trader Sam's, if any of you have been, is a great little, little place in the Polynesian. And it's kind of just behind these doors that look like the wall, and so it's not stuck out there, really big, because if it would have been, I would have gone in a long time ago and noticed it. But it's really fun, and families can go in there for a beverage or just to take a peek around to see the decor. It's really, really neat, actually. And at 8 p.m., if you are under 21, then they will have you leave, obviously, because you are not of age. But the place is really neat. You can get all kinds of different, as I said, beverages. You can get them in different containers. I think one of our family members got a zombie, and when they were served the zombie, the guy was actually a zombie that had served us. And then there's certain things that happen if you order a drink. Certain drinks will set a volcano off, and there's a whole other things that I won't tell you more about. But if you ever have a chance, check it out. It's just kind of this little place in the Polynesian. And if you're not too sure where to find it, just ask them at the desk, because it's really kind of a neat little place. Just want to say hi to Todd in California. He's joined us as well this evening. How are you doing, Todd? At any rate, the number to call is 844-483-4763 if you'd like to share a story or an experience with me, with everybody. I wanted to mention something that I don't know if you guys get these alerts on your phone. Disney movie rewards and things like that. But I got one, and just before I came on the show, I thought, I'm going to check this out. And I actually entered a contest for a Toy Story Land adventure. And I have no idea what that all entails. But if any of you guys are interested in entering, go into the Disney Movie Rewards and even set up an account if you want. And it's not a big deal to set one up, but enter to win an activity or a day or something. And I'm going to find out a little more about it. But Toy Story Land is opening June 30th. We are going to be there, and it's going to be interesting because when Pandora opened, I mean, everybody pooled to Pandora. Now I think everybody's going to be pooling over to Toy Story Land and leaving the rest of the place open. I'm not too sure, but you definitely want to get fast passes for whatever you need in there. And I want to look at it a little bit more and find out a little bit more about Toy Story Land. But something that I do know is that it's going to appear that you are the size of the toys or smaller, I think is how it's going to go. And I don't know about you guys. I love Toy Story. I think that is my all round fallback movie. The first and second is Toy Story. And if you guys have ever seen how they came to that idea, it was Pixar that actually had one of the team had seen his nephew or his little baby niece or nephew it was, and saw them just munching on all the toys, slobbering, because of course that's how babies check things out, with everything in their mouth. And he thought, I wonder how the toys would feel. And they did. That very, very first Pixar short that is, was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was kind of this little tin toy. I think it was called, is it called the Tin Man or Tin Toy? Tin Man?
Tin Man. Yeah.
Tin Man. It's actually called the Tin Man. And it was the precursor to the whole Toy Story movies, and just really, really love that. I can't wait to see Toy Story Land. And something that I just found out recently is on the Disney Alaska cruise that I'll be going on in June at midnight, and I'm going to drink coffee and everything I can so I can stay awake late. We adults get to go into the kids clubs, and one of these is Andy's room, and I am just thrilled to death, to be honest with you, just to be able to go in that room. Anyways, Beth says, yes, have you ever seen the Rainy Day Parade? It's wonderful and somewhat rare, always special when you get to see it. Beth, I did not know that there was such a thing as a Rainy Day Parade. Can you tell me any more about it, or would you like to just give a quick call and let me know about it? It is, okay. Yeah. No, I'd love to hear about the Rainy Day Parade. And Beth said it was actually John Lasseter who came up with the concept of Toy Story while watching his nephew. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was nephew or niece, but yeah, that is just an amazing concept of that. And I remember years ago they had Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and they had that set that you could actually play in, and you were like not grass size, you were actually smaller than the grass, which is really kind of a neat concept too. But I really, really do love Toy Story Land. But Beth, I'd love to hear about the Rainy Day Parade. Anybody else out there know about the Rainy Day Parade? I wonder what that's about. I think it's a great idea, but I have no idea. Okay, so the Rainy Day Parade is when the 3 o'clock is canceled. I wonder what makes it so special, though, Beth, as far as obviously when the 3 o'clock parade's canceled, the Rainy Day Parade will come on. But I wonder what is particularly notable about it. Do they have, well, they must have special costuming, special floats maybe that would be a little more rain friendly. I'm not too sure. I think I'm gonna have to look that up. There's been so many parades actually at Disney. It's really neat. It would be really fun for them to bring some of those back. Oh, Beth, the number 844, it's on the screen, 844-483-4763. That's 844-483-4763. Oh, good, Beth. Yeah, please let us know. Call in and tell us about the Rainy Day Parade. I'll tell you, I wish I had a Rainy Day Parade here in Seattle to make me smile a little bit more when it's raining here. But I'm just really curious to know. I know when we went on our backstage, our Keys to the Kingdom tour, we saw some of the parades there. And here we go. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hi, Kimberly, it's Beth.
Oh, I don't hear anything. Do you? Okay, hang on, Beth. I don't quite hear what is. I think I've got. Are you still there, Beth?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm just actually trying to work this out. For some reason, I'm not picking up the sound. Just hang on, Beth. We're just gonna adjust the sound. So just hang on, because I really want to hear about this Rainy Day Parade. I'm not too sure what is going on with the sound. Do you have?
I have audio, but
I'm away.
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to switch headphones. Just a sec.
Okay.
Hey, Beth. There you go.
Hi there.
Hi. So I am so curious to know. I never even heard of the rainy day parade because I probably wasn't standing out on Main Street when it was pouring rain. So tell me about it. Yeah, tell
Right.
me about
Now,
it.
well, the 3 o'clock parade, as many people know it,
Yeah.
Festival of Fantasy, does go off if everything is okay and then the parade starts and it starts to rain, then they just try and get through it. But if they
Okay.
know rain is going to hit before the parade,
Uh-huh.
they will cancel it because it tends to ruin all the costumes and it takes forever to
Oh,
dry them out and so forth. So they
okay.
make a decision before the parade whether or not they're going to go through with it. And if they decide, no way, we're not doing the 3 o'clock parade, a lot of the performers, the ones that walk, the dancers, that kind of thing,
Okay.
they all get in yellow slickers and boots and hats
Oh,
because you can see kind of some of their costumes underneath. They quickly change into all yellow, old-fashioned kind of slickers and
oh.
hats and boots. And they have certain floats that they bring out that are covered where they can put some of the characters on.
Okay.
And it's a very brief and small, and they call it the Rainy Day Parade. It's just so they have some kind of parade for everybody.
Oh.
And they go through the streets, and they have a special song, and they sing about rain.
Oh.
And it's really cool because it only comes out, you would think with Florida, especially in the summer, having so much rain.
Yeah.
But strangely enough, at 3 o'clock, it seems to be okay most of the time. So
Okay.
the Rainy Day Parade is somewhat rare and so fun to see.
Oh my
So fun.
goodness. So so obviously they have like a little bit of music. So I'm trying to think, what is the average length of a parade versus this one?
Well, Festival of Fantasy from beginning to end, if you were sitting there watching it, is a good 20, 25 minutes long.
Okay.
And this Rainy Day Parade is probably 10.
Okay.
So it's at least, I mean, because it's much less staff. It's
Yeah.
much less cast members working it.
Yeah.
But it really is great. And they pipe in the music just like they would for Festival of Fantasy.
Oh,
They have
nice.
Rainy Day Parade music that they put in too. So, because, everybody's already stakeout
Ready.
spots.
Yeah.
Everybody is right. And of course, when it pours, some of those people obviously run for cover. But
Right.
the people who know about the Rainy Day Parade get excited because we know that we're going to get to see the Rainy Day Parade, which is very rare.
That is so
Next
fun.
time you're in Magic and
Yeah.
it's about time for the parade, and it starts to pour down rain, don't go anywhere because the Rainy Day
Oh
Parade's going
man.
to come down.
That is so cool. I'm going to be waiting for that. But you know what I'm thinking, Beth, is that they chose 3 o'clock because of the weather. You know what I mean? They probably chose 3 o'clock because more often than not, it has cleared up by then, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And of course, you do know that come August, due to the fact that they have added more dates to the Halloween. So the Halloween parties are going to start even earlier now in mid-August.
Oh
They
my
push the
gosh.
3 o'clock parade to 2.
Oh,
So,
oh my goodness.
yeah, so Festival of
Really?
Fantasy come mid-August is going to change to 2 o'clock again, just like last year.
Oh my
And
goodness.
they push it to 2 so that everybody still gets to see the parade and then has a few hours before everybody's got to start filing out because of the Halloween party.
Oh my goodness.
So,
That's so crazy. I have to laugh because there were so many years that we were not there because it was like mid to late September, I think, is when they used to start the Halloween parties, and then they kind of started
right.
moving them back a little so that and then the beginning of September. I remember last year we were in
Right.
August.
I think the first party is going to be August 19th now.
Oh my goodness! Actually,
I think that's the first Halloween.
We're going to be there because we have a cruise booked for our 25th anniversary, and I know that we will be on the cruise on the 14th, which is our anniversary. and then we're going to be spending a little bit of time after because I can't get off a cruise and then just leave. I have to, visit. But oh my
Right.
goodness, that is so funny.
Well, be prepared that that Magic Kingdom hours are going to change on those party nights. So make sure your Magic Kingdom day is on a non-party day so you get the most out of it.
Makes sense. Well, I just saw that they just actually, it's funny you mentioned about the dates because I just seen something that there were dates announced for not only the Halloween party, but the Christmas party as well already. Is that a little bit earlier than usual? It seems a bit earlier.
Yeah, normally, I don't think they normally come out at about the same time. So that's, they must really be pretty firm on their Christmas dates this year to be able to announce that very close to Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. The earlier they do it, the more chances of people buying up the tickets. So it's a smart marketing move, but, yeah, you're right. That is a little early for Christmas.
Well,
announcement.
It's kind of strange is to think that I don't even know what the first Christmas date is, but can you imagine going to the Halloween party one week and a Christmas party the week after?
There's a lot of people who do that.
Oh, really?
They book they book their vacation to where they catch one of the last few Halloween parties, and then Magic does the kind of overnight turnover, and by November 2nd, they've got all their Christmas up, or most of it.
Isn't that amazing?
And then and then that's when the Christmas parties start. So I know people who purposely plan their vacations that way so they can go to both parties. Well, it's got to be very odd. I mean, you truly are seeing Magic Kingdom and two totally different, decorations, and it's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah. I could, I've seen the sort of the fast forward version of it, just snippets, online. You can watch that, right? But I think it would be a really cool experience, to be honest with you, to be there at that time. I mean, you're very fortunate because you're a local, and to actually experience that, I think would be. I know it'd be strange, but I think it'd be really cool. Also, just kickstart that Christmas season overnight, right?
Right. My daughter, who works at Magic Kingdom, she's been there when they've been closing up shop the last night of October, and she says as soon as they get the last person out, they put on the big floodlights. All the heavy equipment drives down Main Street, all the cherry pickers and everything. And she says it's so bright, it's like daytime down Main Street. And they just get to work. So, it's pretty amazing.
Do they call in extra cast members for helping out with things like that? Or do they have, because I know that they have a massive, massive football size field facility, at least one
warehouse,
warehouse for them to store everything. But I wonder if they call actually extra cast members to help with that?
Well, cast members in the sense of who we see, no. I think they truly pull everybody who works in that warehouse with that stuff, as well as all the contractors who come in. Right. I think that's who all floods in the park. Those nights to do that. Of course, any cast members working in shops, they help switch over the Halloween that's up, decorating their shop. Yeah. And they tend to do that beforehand. Like Halloween stuff will start coming down maybe a week before Halloween in the shops. And they start putting up Christmas. So you'll kind of see a little bit of an overlap in some of the stores. But all the big stuff gets done kind of overnight.
Right.
But I hear it's amazing. I agree. I would love to just be a fly on the wall there and watch that.
I know. And, I know that they probably would never have this, but wouldn't it be so cool to have a special ticketed tour for that? I know they can't because it's probably mayhem in there and they don't want to have to be responsible for a few tourists, that want to see it. But that would be so incredible, wouldn't it? Just to be there for the night.
Just stick me up there on top of the railroad, the train station up there. I could just sit up there all night.
Oh yeah, me too. We'll have our hot chocolates and bring soft, comfy chairs and sit down and watch the magic. Wouldn't that be fun? And to commentate the whole thing with that. We'll have to.
Yeah.
We should offer our services to Disney and see if they would like.
That's right.
Like a couple
we could
of
be
us.
cheerleaders. We could be cheering on all those people working hard. Yes.
Yeah, and they do work so hard. I know that all the decorations in that, it's not like they're just stored. They are replenished. That's a full-time job for so many of those guys to keep everything looking spotless. And I really have to hand it to them. That's just, it would be like almost like Christmas every day if you work there, in a sense, because that's all you've got.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that fun? Yeah.
I remember watching a special about how as soon as that stuff gets pulled down after Christmas, they're already working on that stuff for the next, 10, 11 months on repainting and replenishing and replacing and so forth. I mean, that's what they do in those warehouses all year to get everything ready for the next time it goes up.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's incredible. Oh, my goodness. And I have to ask, are you in the parks this evening or heading out there in the next few days? Because you are, I think.
In the next few days, yes. I was there for Easter, and then I went to Atlanta for for business. So I've been gone for like almost 2 weeks, and my hands are shaking. I have to go back.
Yeah. I was curious to know what, because we have not been there for Easter, but is there an actual Easter egg hunt that takes place there, or is there anything for Easter?
There's a lot of resorts that do Easter egg hunts and all kinds of wonderful things for kids. Almost all of the deluxe resorts definitely do.
Okay.
I can't speak for the others, but they do. At the resorts, there's a lot of really wonderful things going on Easter weekend. But the thing that got the most attention on our Walt Disney group was my pictures of the Easter parade, which a lot of people don't know that on Saturday and then Sunday, Easter Sunday, they do an abbreviated Easter parade right before Festival of Fantasy. I don't know if you saw my pictures.
You know what? I was overseas. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to look at those, Beth, because I was overseas, and so I didn't pay attention to anything for a while there, and it's hard to believe that it was only a couple of weeks ago that I got back. Not even 2 weeks ago, actually. But I'm going to check those out. But so I did not realize that they had a parade. Is that something that they've been doing for a while then?
Right. Yeah, evidently for many years they've had it. And the girls who come out have these big hoop skirts, and they're all different colors. The first, the blues come out, and then the pinks, and you'll have to look at the pictures.
Oh, I will.
Gorgeous. But they're called let me get this right, Azalea Maids.
Azalea maids, like MAIDS, like azalea, like the flower.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You'll have to check out the pictures.
Will.
I definitely wrote it down on the pictures. But there's like a dozen of each color, and they all come out and they play the Bing Crosby song Easter Parade.
Oh,
remember that from the old movie Holiday Inn with Fred Astaire?
Yes.
And so they're all singing that song as they come down the road in their big hoop skirts. And then they had a gazebo that had 4 bunnies on it. It was Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
It was the White Rabbit from Alice.
Okay.
It was Thumper.
Oh.
And there was one more, I can't remember. But they were all up in the gazebo. It was wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Did you get photos of that as well?
I got photos and video. Yeah,
okay.
Check out our group page, or I'll send it to you.
I will.
It's beautiful.
Oh gosh.
But Saturday and for the Festival of Fantasy. Okay. So if anybody is ever at Disney, at Walt Disney World on Easter, make sure you sit down early for the parade, because it's a wonderful treat that only happens twice.
Yeah.
During that.
Oh gosh. Well, you've got me itching to go there. I'm not sure if I can swing it next Easter, but I will definitely. I mean, there's something that we want to be able to spend more time down there once our kids are finished university. I'd like to go there every few months and take part of these, because being not stuck. This should sound terrible, but being only able to go a little bit in the summer or at Christmas is really hard. But
Right.
I'm definitely going to have to check out and make a note of those things on my bucket list to check out for sure. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm hoping to go sometime this week, and then of course I will be there for May the 4th.
Oh, yeah. That sounds awesome. Well, listen, thank you so much for telling me all about it and telling us all about it, because anyways, guys, if you're stuck in the rain, check out the parade. Don't disappear. Don't run away. Don't go to your resort to hang about. And that is so awesome, Beth. Thank you so much. And I look forward to checking out those photos. And thanks for calling in. It was good to hear from you.
Yes. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. All right. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness. It always makes me so happy whenever I share with people and have people share with me their experiences at Disney, because it takes me to that place. It takes me to my happy place. And I always learn something new from you guys that are in that neck of the woods, or we always can learn from each other different things. At any rate, I am going to be tying up the show tonight here. I actually am going to be running my sons to their Irish dance practice tonight at the studio in North Seattle. And we're going to have to get going here. But I just wanted to thank everybody for joining me tonight, and have a wonderful week, and stay dry, stay warm. And for all of you lucky people in the sunshine, enjoy your great weather. And we'll talk to you next week on our 23rd podcast. For now, take care and be safe. Bye for now.